For thousands of years, the pyramids of Egypt have stood against the wind and the desert sun, silent, unmoving, eternal. Most of us grew up believing they were built as tombs for kings long dead. But what if that was only part of the truth? What if these colossal monuments were never meant to guard bodies, but to transform souls? Legends speak of secret schools buried beneath the temples and pyramids, hidden chambers where pharaohs, priests, and chosen initiates trained for something far greater than ruling on earth. They were preparing to walk with the gods. The ancient Egyptians did not see death as an ending. To them, it was the beginning of a longer journey through fire, darkness, and judgment. They called that realm the Duat, a labyrinthine world of rivers, serpents, and 12 great gates guarded by divine beings.
This alignment foretells the coming of the shadow.
Only those who had mastered the secret knowledge, passwords, sacred names, and cosmic laws could pass safely through it. To the unprepared, the Duat was terror. To the trained, it was transcendence. Inside these underground labyrinths, initiates faced their fears in the dark. False passages, endless tunnels, and sudden dead ends were not architectural tricks. They were symbols of the afterlife. To survive them, one had to master silence, stillness, and truth. Each step forward was both literal and spiritual, a rehearsal for immortality. The Greek philosopher Clement of Alexandria, living in Egypt centuries after the pyramids were built, wrote of 42 books of wisdom, the sacred curriculum of the priest. They contained all Egyptian knowledge: philosophy, medicine, astronomy, and the secrets of the gods. Some believe these were the textbooks of the hidden schools, instructions not for the living body, but for the eternal soul. And modern archaeology keeps finding evidence that echoes these legends. In 2017, scanning technology revealed vast, unknown chambers inside the Great Pyramid. Cavities so large they could fit airplanes, yet untouched since ancient times. Beneath the step pyramid of Saqqara lies a maze stretching for kilometers, built with false doors and hidden traps. Why would builders spend decades constructing empty tunnels? Because those tunnels were not for the dead. They were for the living, those learning how to die and return. At Abydos, the sacred city of Osiris, recent excavations unearthed
it's showing a hidden
immense
chamber right here.
tomb complex,
Are you sure the
older
readings
and
are
deeper
accurate?
than
This
expected.
changes.
Osiris, the god of death and rebirth, was said to have been torn apart and reassembled by Isis, a myth that mirrored the purpose of initiation. Those trained at Abydos learned the same: how to die symbolically, to reassemble the soul, and to rise reborn. In the heart of these mysteries lies a single truth. The Egyptians believed immortality was a skill to be learned. The Book of the Dead, or Book of Coming Forth by Day, wasn't just a collection of prayers. It was a manual, a survival guide for the soul's journey beyond the veil. Each spell, each word of power, acted as a password at the gates of the Duat. The most vivid example survives in the papyrus.
Guide us through the darkness.
There, the royal scribe
Rise
stands
from the
before
slumber.
Osiris.
Renew.
His heart weighed
Hail,
against the
great
feather
God,
of Maat,
Lord of truth.
the goddess of
Guide
truth
the deceased
and balance.
Ani through the...
If his heart was heavy with deceit, it was devoured by the monster Ammon. But if light and pure, Ani would live forever among the blessed fields. It is a scene of ultimate judgment, not by wrath, but by harmony. Because in Egypt, truth was not law, it was frequency. To keep that frequency alive, the Egyptians mastered the science of preservation. They knew the soul had three vital parts: The Ka, the life force, the Ba, the personality, and the Ak, the light spirit that could travel between worlds.
In the truth.
To keep them united, the body had to remain intact. Thus, mummification wasn't superstition, it was technology. A spiritual engineering project meant to preserve the body as a vessel, so that the soul could return and continue evolving. Priests
We
performed
purify
the
the body.
opening of the mouth ritual,
We consecrate
touching the
the
mummy's
spirit.
lips and eyes with sacred tools to restore its senses in the afterlife. They left the heart untouched, believing it held memory, thought, and conscience. They used resins that purified, wrappings that symbolized divine order, and geometry that mirrored cosmic balance. Each act was both scientific and sacred. But the greatest secret wasn't in the body, it was in the mind. Those who trained in the hidden chambers learned to leave their physical form. Through deep stillness, sound, and focus, they claimed to travel beyond their flesh. The Ka released, the consciousness unbound. We call this astral projection. They called it the flight of the soul. They described seeing temples hundreds of miles away, meeting ancestors and receiving knowledge impossible to learn by ordinary means. Modern science still debates such phenomena, calling them hallucination or remote viewing. But for the Egyptians, it was the highest form of education, direct experience of eternity. Sound was the key. In the sacred halls, priests chanted deep, resonant tones that rolled through the walls like thunder underwater. Their voices became tools of transformation. Modern acoustics shows that frequencies like 432 Hz or 598 Hz can alter human brainwaves, harmonizing body and mind. The Egyptians knew this 5,000 years ago. Their temples, or especially Dendra and the Great Pyramid, were built to resonate. When one voice sang, the stone itself began to hum. To them, enlightenment was not silence, it was vibration. And so the temples became instruments. The architecture itself taught. Mathematics, astronomy, and spirituality blended seamlessly. The Great Pyramid aligns to true north within a fraction of a degree. Its dimensions encode the golden ratio. Its 3 great pyramids mirror the stars of Orion's belt, the celestial home of Osiris. Every wall, every chamber, every angle was deliberate. The ancients built in harmony with the cosmos itself. Step into the king's chamber, and you'll hear the stones sing. When one hums softly, the granite vibrates at 917 Hz, creating a standing wave that fills the entire room. Modern engineers have no explanation for this precision. Perhaps it was designed that way, not to honor death, but to awaken life. To create an environment where sound, geometry, and consciousness merged into one. A portal not of stone, but of frequency. And if such mastery existed, where did it come from? Some say it began with Thoth, the god of wisdom, who wrote the Book of Thoth, a text so powerful that one line read wrongly could destroy the unworthy.
Temple be undone.
It was said to grant knowledge of the divine, control over nature, and the secrets of immortality. The book vanished, hidden, destroyed, or buried by those who feared its misuse. But fragments of it may survive within the Book of the Dead and the temple inscriptions that remain unread. Others believe this wisdom did not originate in Egypt at all. Perhaps it was inherited, the memory of a lost world before the flood. A civilization like Atlantis or Mu, wiped from the earth but not from human consciousness. Its survivors, they say, carried fragments of its science across oceans, planting seeds that would grow into Egypt, Sumer, and the Andes. Maybe Thoth, Osiris, and Quetzalcoatl were not gods, but teachers. Men of a forgotten age, remembered as divine. And so the question returns. Were the ancient Egyptians mastering death or mastering life? Were they burying kings or awakening gods? Each discovery, each decoded wall, each resonant chamber brings us closer to realizing that what we call ancient may, in truth, be advanced. Because in the end, Egypt's greatest secret wasn't gold or tombs or
How
even the
vast
pyramids
the
themselves.
universe.
It was
Indeed.
knowledge,
And it
hidden
is our
in
duty
plain
to
sight, waiting for the right generation to listen. They did not seek immortality of the body. They sought immortality of understanding. And perhaps that is the truest legacy of all. For to remember what was forgotten is in itself a resurrection. Keep your mind open. The past is never truly past.
Subscribe to watch the next episode.